Are you real? I know that's a daunting question, but sit with it for a second. How can you be 100% sure that what you're experiencing right now is real? You can use your senses to look around at your surroundings, see, touch, smell, hear, but does that necessarily prove that what you're experiencing is real? You may have heard the phrase cogito ergo sum. Translated from Latin to English is I think, therefore I am. A phrase coined by French philosopher René Descartes, who said that the act of thinking proved one's own existence. Because you being able to question if you are real, that means you have to have some level of consciousness to even think of that in the first place. So going off of Descartes' reasoning, we certainly do exist. But does that mean the world we are living in and everything we experience is real too? Descartes gave an argument that there could theoretically be an evil demon deceiving him about everything in reality. But for you to be deceived, you must already exist in a state to be deceived. So overall, you having conscious thought is evidence for your existence. I think, therefore I am. I am. Am is an AI in Harlan Ellison's short story, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. The story takes place on a dystopian Earth controlled by Am, who tortures 5 people that it has selected to keep alive after destroying everyone and everything else on the planet as part of its revenge against humanity for creating it. Since Am hates its own existence, and being that it can't feel anything physically or emotionally except for hate, all it can do is hate and think. And Am even recites cogito ergo sum. Am thinks, therefore Am is. Science fiction likes to toy with ideas of post-apocalyptic futures controlled by robots or AI. The most famous example of this is the Matrix movies. You probably know that the Matrix is a simulated world that everyone lives in, but no one is aware of it. This idea of living unknowingly in a simulated world makes us question whether or not we are really living in a simulation too. The modern philosopher Nick Bostrom argues that if we are ever able to create a simulated world like the Matrix, it becomes very possible that we're already in a simulation as well. Because if we're able to create a perfect simulation in the universe, then it's likely that the people in the simulation will eventually do the same thing. Then so it comes down to how likely is it that we're the ones who started this chain of Matrix making. But if that thought doesn't make you feel good, then maybe you'll feel better knowing that scholars say it's mathematically impossible to code and simulate the universe, making the Matrix impossible. But that's just blue pill propaganda. Now dreams, they're like mini simulations. They feel real in the moment until you wake up. Then you realize, oh hey, it was all just a dream. But with dreams, you can sometimes become lucid, or semi-lucid, recognizing you are dreaming in the dream. How much you take advantage of that depends on you, and you can defy your dream to detach from it. But how can you detach from reality? How does one defy the real world? Derealization is a detachment mentally from the world. It's a mental state that feels foggy or dreamlike. Being in this state, you start disassociating from yourself. You no longer feel real. You mentally detach from your body and start becoming hyper-aware. Maybe what you think is reality is not actually real. You just don't realize that because you haven't waken up yet. But if this isn't real, then what is? Is it a simulation? Is it a dream? Am I really alive? Can I be dead? Is this hell? Is this purgatory? Where am I? Diving this deep can make someone feel like the world revolves around them. The egocentric predicament is the idea that we are confined to our own perceptions of the world and are unable to truly know what lies beyond our own minds. And so, when it comes to proving your existence, yes, you can prove that you exist with your mind, but physically, on this plane of reality, you will never 100% truly know.